Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Niggas playing hard, but he really so sick. Prosper got shot, Tate got shot.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, now.
See this? How you cannot go?
Baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Thank you guys for showing up. Make sure if you came in the building first, put a 1 in the chat to make sure I see Woke the God in the building first, Lisa Taylor and Tina Powers. If you're in the building, please put a 1 in the chat. We came on in here, we was rocking it, you guys. We are rocking it. I see all mods. I see Tina Powers is in the building, Woke the God is in the building, and let's see, Lisa Taylor is in the building. I got you guys down. Yes, I do. I always look and see, but it's all good. It's all good. Those are the first 3 that's in the building. Oh, Eno and Bella was next. Oh my goodness. And Tunucci. I don't know how to say that name. I do not know. And Melanie, and oh my goodness, you guys are in the building. Thank you guys for showing up. We're going to be talking about the Naziah Harris case. If you don't know and you're new to this platform, you can always subscribe to the channel. Make sure as you came in, if you did not do it, hit the like button and share. Share this live, you guys. We're going to talk about King Hill. I don't know if you guys know, and some of you guys do know, but we're going to talk today. I want to come on early because I do have to work tonight, and it's a little bit stressful, so I want to have my head in the game when I go in, and I want to get this taken care of because this is unfinished business. We are going to stay on this case. We're trying to figure out who knows what, who does what, And I do got some new information for you. It's not a lot, but it's something. And I know nobody else got it because nobody else rock it like we rock it over here. Yeah. There's things that other people do have that I have been seeing. And like I said, you guys, when there's other channels and stuff, we don't mention their names over here, but we do want to give them a shout out for making sure that they stay on the Naziah Harris case. I'm not going to never, well, I can't say never because you never know what happens. Somebody will rub you the wrong way, and then there you go. She said, what's up with King Hill? What do you mean, what's up with King Hill? What do you mean, what's up with King Hill? Only thing I heard about King Hill is there was a little boy that was in Strawberry Mansion that got hit by 2 cars. Had nothing to do with King Hill, but you do know King Hill came from that area, Strawberry Mansion, right? Other than that, the girl pleaded guilty and, the babysitter, and she's doing time, right? That's what's up. Do you know anything else about King Hill? Let me know. They never did find the baby because she threw the baby in the trash. And they can't find the baby. You know what I'm saying? But she did plead guilty to that, and they sentenced her. And they were harsh, even though that she came out and told the judge. I don't know if you guys got the update on that, but other than that, I don't know anything else about King Hill. What's up? What's up? Yeah, Tina Powers, what's up? I mean, that's it. When she pleaded guilty and told the judge that she did it, she got fearful the baby peed. She got upset and blacked out or whatever, and she threw the baby in the trash. And along that area or something. That's why they could never find King Hill. But, I mean, we love King Hill and Amber, even though Amber didn't care for me, but these moms never do care for me. But, we were trying to get, people railed up over there on that side, and we did get them railed up. We had exclusives and things of that nature, which was good. It was great. That's when I had all the time in the world. Well, then, life be lifing, right? And I had to take my butt back to work full time. At first, I wasn't working full time, so I did have time. But now I have to because situations, life. Anyway, you guys, let's talk about King Hill. If you don't know, King Hill, not King Hill. Oh my gosh, she got me thinking about King Hill. King, meaning king, talking about Cardell. That's the king we talking about. King, that king, that is his AKA name, also known as Cardell, right? His name is King. That's the king we're talking about. That king is free. I know you guys, you're wondering, how is he free? Yeah, Jarvis is free and King. Yeah, Tina, now you on the right track. Now I see where you got off at. We were talking about King, Jarvis's friend King. Okay? So, yes, he got out July the 1st. She said, shut up. Yes, he's out. He's on probation, and the things that he can do, what he can't do, the special conditions. It doesn't say anything that he can't be around a felon. He just can't be around a felon that is housed by the MDOC, which I don't know what the MODC is, but I'm pretty sure it's the Department of Corrections, Michigan Department of Corrections. That's probably what MDOC means. I just thought to myself when I said MDOC, that's probably what it is. I didn't ask them. But yes, he is out. And then you guys, Cynthia says, yes. Did we ever find out why he was violated? Yes, we did find out why he was violated. We don't know we just know it was a violation of his probation. Okay? And I don't think you was here the day. I think I talked to you earlier that day, but I think you had something you had to do. Woke to God. But I did call down there and I was asking questions before he even got out. Can't remember what day that was, but I called down there and they said, no, he's not in the county jail. He's in prison. And I was like, in prison? And they was like, yeah, he ain't getting out until he go back to court. And I said, go back to court? No. He's got to have a bail. They said, no, he's in prison. And I was like, oh, okay. I think this was probably about a week, maybe last week or something. And anyway, right after that phone call, he got, now, the thing about this is, it's weird. It's really not weird because he went in March of this year, you guys. Remember, he went and talked to them in February. They locked him up in March. Something that he violated on his probation, parole. So he went in March, and then here's June, March 2024, he went in. So he spent more than a year. And remember, in March, he had finished all his parole. He said he had finished it. He had finished his tether and all that other stuff. But something he did. They just kept him. And I think they did that wanting some information. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. And I seen Roxy is on Facebook and she is mad about the whole situation. And she said King is going back to his wife. I didn't know King was married. She said if King is out, shouldn't the FBI or the police keep an eye on him? In just my opinion. You know what? If I was King, I wouldn't do anything. Because right now they just want his testimony to put Jarvis completely away for a long time. Shauna said that's exactly what sounds like what happened. Yep, that's exactly what happened. I'm going to tell you guys something. So I've been, and I'm glad that you guys came on in the building. Go on ahead and give yourself a shout out because I love you guys. But, for a while now, I've been, how you hear something and it just don't sound right, or you just, it just bothers you. So let's talk about it, you guys. We're going to talk about the Naziah Harris case. Let's talk about it because sometimes I feel like you can say anything in the world to me, even though that you say everything right. I feel it. I don't know. I feel some kind of way. My spirit feels some kind of way, and I'm like, and that is, and I'm going to share something with you guys. That y'all may understand and y'all may not understand. Please just let me know in the chat. I'll read it. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you ain't shouting out other channels and trying to do it on the sly. If somebody come in here, every time we come on, trying to say something sly about another channel, please, if you do that today, I am just going to delete you. I'm serious. I'm just not, I just don't even want to play with the kids today. I just don't want to do it. And I'm not trying to be shady or anything. I'm just, I just want to keep it real. Okay? So, because, we done got a lot of information and, it just, sometimes you can talk to somebody and like I said, they say everything right, but something's wrong. Something's wrong. Like it does something just off about it. Like after the conversation, you got time to think about what they said or, things of that nature, right? Shauna says, what bothers me the most about this case is the family saying and doing everything except for what they should, when the only thing that really matters is where is supposed to be Naziah. Exactly. I got you. I know. But, to be honest with you, they really can't talk too much. Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? What's going on? Monique Hall is in the house. What is the baby Z? So here's the thing. So the transcripts are out about what the little girl that's now 20, which is Jarvis's daughter, said in court. She said this, you guys. If you don't know, you're going to hear it, okay? She said that when her dad got out of prison, his sister, meaning Tawana, picked her up from her mama's house and took her to her daddy's house, where he gave her a bath and rubbed her down with lotion all over. This is her first time seeing this child, or first time this baby meeting her father. She's 8 years old. He gave her a bath and rubbed her down with lotion all over her body. 8. Now, parents do stuff like that, but it's just weird to me, like, lotion is not that important. You know what I'm saying? Like, lotion, I mean, whether you ashy or not, rubbing a little girl that you, first time she meeting you, down with lotion, I wouldn't do that. I would not do. Okay, because I got a little cousin, and she come over. Well, she used to come over, and the first time she come over, I wanted her to take a bath, take a shower, because she was a little dirty or whatever, But at the age of 8, they know what a private is, and they know what they're, they know what things are. They know what the cuckoo is and the TTs are, they know. And they know that these things are not supposed to be touched, played with. They want to my Pooh Bear just turned 8 or 9. And for the longest, for the last 2 years or something, when he go in the bathroom, usually, when he was 4 or 5 years old, I help him on the toilet. I give him a bath in there, But I never, because he's not my child, or, he's my grandbaby, I would never go rubbing him down with lotion because he's a boy. And I don't want to rub that part of his body. It's not that important. Hey, Sanjay, what's up? I see you in the building, sister. Hey, Emma, how you doing? Emma, how you doing? Yeah, she could have done it herself, right? So with her being 8 years old and he doing that, that just gives me those vibes. Now, then the little girl went on to, I guess, Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. She had her onesie on. He tells her it was almost like Henry Dinkins all over again. Go take that off and go put on a t-shirt. A big t-shirt. So he can have easy access to her while she sleep. So being a child, she does it because she's a kid. She don't know why. She probably have a funny feeling, but she kind of scared to say something because he's the father. And surely your father ain't going to be thinking about doing something or whatever. But I'm going to tell you what this child said that had me heated, you guys. It had me heated. So she sleep, right? She sleep. And she said she got woken up because he was playing with her while she was asleep. And she says, you know how people play with you when you sleep. Let that register in your mind. She says, you know how when somebody play with you when you sleep? What do you mean? Do we know how somebody play with you when you sleep? What do you mean? Exactly. No, no, no. No, that's not something we supposed to know. People play with you when you sleep. I'm telling you. She said she confronted him and he asked her why she acting weird or, whatever. And she said, you know what you did to me? And he said, what? And she told him. And then he said, if I did something to you, if I'm sorry. Now, this little girl kept it a secret because she probably thought to herself that long as he didn't stick his pee-pee in there anywhere, then, she can live with it. And she can. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people going, no, I don't understand what you're saying. Well, being a little girl, even though it's being violated, you seem like that's not a real violation when it is. But little girls don't want to make a big problem out of it. Exactly. But she did not tell nobody. Okay? I kept something I wanted to share with you guys, but I need to go back and find it because I was going to share something else. But now talking to you guys, yes, she's very scared to tell anybody because if she told her mama, this is her daddy. If she told her mama, did he stick his pee-pee in, well then, what are you talking about? Or such and such, woo-da-woo-da-woo. Is she the same one he was walking around to the front? No, this one is not. This one is not. This is a younger one. But let's just talk. Let's just talk a little bit. I won't go find the video. Because you guys know so much about this case. I don't have to show you what you already heard for you to think about what I'm finna say. I don't have to tell you because you already heard it. And this is where I have a problem at. And this is why I'm trying to put everything together. She just now saying this, She just now coming out and telling her story. Now, remember the sister said, I was talking to his baby mama. That's where we at. Okay? Think about what I'm saying, you guys. Please put a 1 in the chat if you guys hear what I'm saying. Put a 2 in the chat if you know exactly where I am going with this. Because it all makes sense. It all makes sense. So the sister says, I was talking to the baby's mama, his baby mama. This got to be the baby mama that the sister was talking to. Jarvis have like 20 baby mamas though. Emma, you spoiling it. You're spoiling it. And you're right. He's supposed to have 13. He's got more than 13. They even asked somebody on there, and I think Shannon Jones said, "No, I talked to all his girlfriends." Shannon Jones, you ain't talked to all this man's girlfriends. But anyway, let's get back on track. Let's get back on track. So Tawana says she talked to the baby's mama and she sent her a podcast. But she talked to the baby's mama. Now, I believe that this is the baby's mama. Why do I believe that this is the baby's mama? First of all, Tawana said that after she got done talking to the baby's mama and blase, she looked at the podcast and then she was like, "Do you want to know why I was already thinking?" Because the baby mama must have told her. I don't know, you guys, but the baby mama must have told her what her child had said. The 20-year-old. She probably told her mama, "Daddy touched me, mama. Daddy done this to me, mama. You remember when Annie came and got me and took me to go see my daddy the very first time? Soon as he got out of prison?" And she probably told her mother on Valentine's Day. Because or the Thursday after Valentine's Day. Okay? Shannon said his sister said she didn't know how many kids he had. You're right, because you can't count them all. He ain't told all of them. But I'm going to tell you something. I connected to another one of his girlfriends. Anyway, let's get back on track. Because that's what we're talking about today. That's why I want to tell you guys. Yeah, she said, "I could see that. I think Jarvis' sister talked to the other baby's mama on the stand in Shannon." Exactly. That's exactly what had to happen. Because that's got her to thinking. When that baby mama told her, "My baby told me the day that you took her to see her daddy," she said, "he put lotion all over her." So this woman, Tawana, Jarvis' sister, is feeling all kind of guilty. She's feeling all kind of guilty. Now, this is where I have a problem. I'm going to tell you guys something. Even though it was not put out what he went to prison for, it was he was a sex offender. So I look at it like, I know the lie that he told. Okay? Y'all want to hear what the lie he told? Now, I know what he told Shannon. I know what he told the family. Because they didn't know why he was in prison. Allegedly, then they didn't know why he was in prison. But so they didn't look at him as a pedophile. They thought he told them that he was in prison because he dated a girl that lied about her age and said she was 18 when she was not. And I don't know if the girl got pregnant or whatever, but that is not allegedly, that is a fact of what was said, that was told to me. So I'm trying to think, even if my brother went to prison being a sex offender, he comes out being a sex offender, but you went to this baby's mama, picked up the child, and brought the child to Jarvis. I would have been a little skeptical, thinking to myself, yeah, he could have told me that, or he did tell me that, but just because you are a sex offender, I would have used precaution. You know, Jarvis was supposed to have had a gun charge. He did have a gun charge. That's why he went to jail on February the 7th. Miss Jackson saying, why didn't they ask King if Naziah was pregnant or if she was sick? I don't know. You have to ask Shannon Jones that. I don't know why they didn't ask King. Well, you got to remember, Miss Jackson, let me explain something to you. It was a preliminary. So not all facts are coming out in the preliminary, just enough facts to make it go to trial. So they're not going to give all the facts out there. And, so that, yeah, they got to share all the evidence, but their reasoning to ask the questions, like, that's like giving a person heads up if you asked them all the important questions, right? This was just a preliminary. So there's no way we were going to get all the questions and all the answers. There's no way we was going to get them. We will get them in October, though. Oh, trust and believe. It's not going to be. See, in a preliminary usually only lasts about a week or two. In a trial, it lasts longer. They go more off into details. They go off into the fine print, the specific evidence. Right? Okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about. So the sister was feeling probably a little guilty because the baby mama told her. The baby mama told her. She told her. Okay? That's why when that sister got on the stand and she says, do you want to know why I already felt? Let me go find it. Y'all stay right there. Let me go find this real quick. Let me just go find it. Let me go find it. I got one of them. Let me go find it. Y'all hold on. Hold on. I can find it. Okay, I found it. I found it. So I didn't want to get into this, but you guys got to know. You guys got to know that is what she. You remember, you guys. We were always like, what did she know, or why did she say the things she said? Let's just visit it for real quick, okay? Let me share my screen with you. Oh my goodness, you guys. That's why I'm glad we came on in here early, because we gonna get into it. We are. We are. We are. We are. We are. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, let's do it like this.
State your name for the record.
Tijuana, but
Okay, that's when you would have went through your phone to find those.
yes,
Okay, and did you also go through that in your interview with Sergeant Jones?
yes,
Okay. And did you give Sergeant Jones permission to look at your location data?
yes,
Okay. And your phone kind of extraction in general, like to go through your phone for the data?
yes.
Okay.
Not so much as remembering maybe the order I remembered it in.
Okay. Were there some times, at least though, when you were asked some questions and some details that you had to say, I can't remember some things?
I can't remember now.
Okay. And would you agree that at least
Like,
that
it could have been that.
okay.
And
I
I
was just saying,
probably did. I guess it would be safe to say because I didn't know.
okay, so you think it's safe to say that at that point in time, there are at least some details you were having a hard time, some questions you couldn't answer.
I can't disagree.
And it was pretty close in time, shortly before that police interview. That was when you first started to think that maybe this girl you'd seen at the shop had been Naziah Harris.
Can you repeat that?
So the first time you started to think that maybe that child, the one you saw, maybe that was Naziah Harris, that was pretty close in time to the police interview.
Maybe about a week or so before.
Okay. I believe, does it sound right to you that I think you told the police that it was on the...
Did you guys hear what she said? A week or so before the interview. So, what is a week before the interview? A week before the interview, she talked to the baby's mama. A week before the interview was like on the 26th of February. You guys got that, right? So, a week before the interview will put us around the 20th. Or she said the week before. The 20th, the 19th, Valentine's Day, somewhere around the 13th and the 19th, 13th and the 19th, right? She said a week before.
Thursday prior to the interview?
Whatever the Thursday was after Valentine's Day.
Okay, so probably February 22nd. That was the Thursday prior to your interview.
Okay.
And then when you were at the shop, you primarily saw this child while she was inside a truck, right?
I didn't know it was a child in the truck until she kept getting out.
Okay, but when you saw her, she was in a truck?
I saw her getting out the truck, yes.
And were you inside your vehicle?
Yes,
You arrived in the daylight, right?
yes,
And that's, I think, what you're referring to, right? Initially, that's when you didn't yet know somebody was in the truck.
can you say that again?
So at the beginning, when you first got there, right, you didn't know right away that somebody was in the truck.
No, I didn't.
I think you had said before, because it was so light outside, it was a bit difficult to see into the truck.
I wasn't really paying attention to his truck. He was outside of it.
Sure. And then in your police interview, you referred to then seeing a light in the truck, and that's when you started to see somebody?
Yeah, that's when the door opened.
Okay, so there's a light turned on, and at the same time a door opened?
That's the reason the light was on.
Okay, because the truck door was open. Yes.
Sure.
And you said that you saw a couple different times her go back and forth to the gas station,
Yes,
and only one of those different times you were on your way to the gas station as well.
yes,
But for that whole time, she remained in front of you?
when I was going into the gas station, she was in front of me. When I walked into the gas station, she went to the left, I went straight, and over to the right.
For that walk over to the gas station, was it getting dark at that point?
It was already dark.
Okay. And while she was in the truck, you were not sure exactly which part of the truck this was?
I can't remember, no.
Okay. So you understood initially that when you arrived, you'd probably have to wait at the shop sometime?
Yes,
I think you referred to just one other car he worked on first. Is that all there was before you?
it was actually another vehicle out there, but I don't pay my brother to work on my car, so I had to wait until he was done making his money. So I waited.
Sure. So do you know how many cars he worked on before he got to you?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you know if there were any other customers present in person?
I did see someone, I can't remember what kind of car it was in, but it was, I believe, a gentleman, that needed to pull into the garage because Jarvis asked me to move my car out the way because I was blocking the garage, so, yes.
Was this someone you recognized at all?
No,
So in total, other than Jarvis or who you referred to as King, was there anyone present that you recognized that day?
no, just King and one brother.
So as you said, the sun set while you were there. Do you know about how long it was light out before it got dark?
Well, I got there about 4 o'clock. It didn't take long for it to get dark. I don't remember the exact time, but it got dark pretty fast.
Okay, and then other than when you went to the gas station, were you always at the shop?
What do you mean?
So did you go anywhere else?
No, I never left. All I did was move my car when he asked me to move my car. And once the driveway was clear, I back where I was. I didn't go anywhere else.
Okay. And when you were present, not going to the gas station, were you always inside your vehicle?
Yes,
Were your doors open or closed?
closed.
Okay, and were your windows up or down?
They were up unless I asked him something.
Okay, so sometimes if you needed to communicate, you just open the window.
Or I would call him, yeah. Yes.
And you were saying today that at one point you did speak to Jarvis about who this girl was.
Yes.
And when you were talking to the police about this, you had said that you weren't sure exactly what his response was.
What I said was I wasn't sure of the word.
Sure, that's what I mean.
Okay.
You told the police, right, that it might have been 8 that you know. Does that mean 8 that you have like personal contact with?
I have.
Okay. When
Saw her, there were several reasons that led me to believe that it was a possibility I was there. And I didn't want to get into detail as far as what I knew before the podcast. But if you would like, I would explain to you why. So, am I?
Yes.
Can I speak for
What is
okay,
that? Yes.
So, at the time, I didn't know. Once I realized that it was a possibility that I saw her, there were several reasons that led me to believe that it was a possibility I was there. And I didn't want to get into detail as far as what I knew before the podcast. But if you would.
Okay, family. She said she didn't know she was there, but she did because she done already talked to King, and King had already told her that she was there. King already told her that she was there before talking to the baby's mama. So King went to jail on the 13th of February, the day before Valentine's Day. Then she got a call from the baby's mama. So she said prior to that, she didn't tell them what she knew, that she was there.
Like, I would explain to you why I thought these things.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Can we approach? Yes. We'll be right back. Go in the hallway.
So I'm going to say, you guys, I'm not bashing the sister. I'm just speaking out loud of why she's feeling like he's got her involved in all of this. Remember, let me go back to this real quick. Remember, I just told you the little girl that was 8 years old at the time of the first offense, his own daughter. We're not talking about Janiyah. We're talking about his other daughter. We're not talking about Brooklyn. Said that her auntie, which is Jarvis's sister, took her to his house. So this woman is feeling a lot of emotions right now. She done been told by King, you were there. Then the baby's mama called her and said, this is what happened to my baby. She knows her brother got out of prison being a sex offender. This don't look good. This do not look good. She said the Thursday after Valentine's Day. Okay. But you knew right after Valentine's Day, when King got out of prison, that this was the girl. Because King told you. King told you that. King told you were there. And then the baby's mama called you and said, hey, my daughter, your niece, told me that this and that and this and that. And yes, she had to think about all of this. But yeah, because you don't want to just go run nilly-willy. She didn't want to believe it. But here's the thing. You know, us as women, we keep talking about these red flags. When you have red flags, I mean, what is the biggest red flag here? King told her that was Naziah. You were there. So I'm thinking to myself, when they told you this, you didn't want to run to the police right then. King told you were there that day. You didn't run to the police that day. You didn't. I know it's hard to do, you guys. I'm not down on her because this is your brother. I'm not down on her for that. But when the baby mama told you, you then waited another week. So you now know that was Naziah that's missing. You know you were there. Now the baby's mama done told you that her child been touched by your brother, the baby's father. And then another week passed by. Yeah. She wanted to get all the information. She said that.
You need some water or something? Can you get some water from there? Can you give her some water? Oh, yeah. Please.
And look at him, just sitting there all casual, like ain't nothing, like everybody's there just to hear something. Like he ain't got a worry in the world. He just sitting there. Her brother. Look at her brother. Look at her brother. See, I don't. Only thing I say about the grown-ups is the red flags were all there. And everybody wants to keep doing well, I mean, they didn't come out and say it. It ain't written on the forehead. I didn't know. How many red flags do it have to be? If King told you you were there, then the baby mama told you this. You didn't hear yet. Yeah. That is why she's feeling somewhat guilty. I'm telling you guys, she's feeling somewhat guilty. Yes, she did come out and tell what she'd seen, and which is nothing but a child. But you know what Jarvis is seeing now with tears in his eyes, his life is over. He's not crying for Naziah. He's not tearing up for Naziah. He's tearing up because his life is over. This is it.
Do some more? No, just it. Okay. I got like 2 more. Okay, we are back on the record. Miss Butts, you are still under oath. Miss Ripley, go right ahead.
Thank you. So, Ms. Books, what's the sources of these reasons that you have? Are these things that you know from your personal knowledge? Are these things that you observe yourself?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Repeat that.
So these reasons that you were thinking of, what are the sources of them? Is it somebody told you something? Is it something that you saw yourself, you observed, or a coupling of that?
I would say a bit of both. Things that I was told and things that I heard.
Okay. Were there heard from Jarvis?
No.
Okay. Were these things that you had already known prior
to
thinking that was Naziah that you saw?
I'm sorry, I'm confused on the question.
So are these things the sources that you have for these reasons? Are they like things that you have personal knowledge of, or are they things that somebody told you about?
These were things that I was told. I'm trying to understand the question that you're asking me.
Okay, you guys, I want to say one thing about this whole testimony right here. I'll go back just 1 second to what she said right there. And I don't know if you guys picked it up. She couldn't even hardly say the word ass. She said, ah. Did you guys hear that? The reason why I'm telling you guys this is because what she just asked her is some of the reasons that you believe you knew something prior to this. She wanted her to go in definition what was prior to Naziah being missing, prior to you making these phone calls, whatever, the prior to you now know to when did you know? You know, what made you come to the conclusion you said prior to watching this video, talking to the mother? What made you know prior? And then when she says a little of both, was it something somebody told you, or was it something you know? And she said a little of both. A little both of what? Somebody told me and it's what I heard. That's not answering the question. That is playing on words. That is deflecting. I'm just saying some people get mad. I'm not throwing nobody underneath the bus. I hope nobody's taking this the wrong way. I'm just saying that she knew. Not probably with 100% certainty, but she knew. Prior to the mother telling her, she knew. And she's feeling some guilt that, not that she could have stopped it, because, you know, when you have somewhat of the truth with the lie, you can't act on it, really. You really can't. So I'm not faulting her for not acting on it. But everybody's giving him a pass with these kids. And that is why the emotion is so high in this testimony. When she say, I can't understand what you... Did you guys hear that? Put a 1 in the chat if you heard that. Please put a 1 in the chat. Because I'm going to go back and let you listen to it. What you ask me, like she don't understand. This is a very educated woman right here. She know exactly what was asked. I know. I spoke to her. I know she's very educated. She's very smart. You know? I know it's emotional to be up there on the stand. And I know there's other reasons why it's emotional to her. It has nothing to do with Naziah on that particular day in that particular courtroom. But what I'm saying is, like, when they asked her that question, she could not get out the word ask. That tells me that you're trying to think what your question is. And you're trying not to say too much, you know? Because at the end of the day, you know, when you have these preliminaries, if you're telling the truth, yes, she's choosing her words wisely. She's very choosing her words wisely. She's a very smart woman. She said it's the questions she's asking the defense is trying to trip her up. Well, that's not the defense asking the questions. That's actually the prosecutors asking her the questions. Now, do you see what I'm saying? The defense is not asking her those questions. That's the prosecutors asking her those questions. Cynthia said, oh, you spoke to her. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, I did speak to her, Cynthia. Okay. Let's go back.
To thinking that was Naziah that you saw.
I'm sorry, I'm confused on the question.
So are these things, the sources that you have for these reasons, are they like things that you have personal knowledge of, or are they things that somebody told you about?
These were things that I was told. I'm trying to understand the question that you're asking me.
Ms. Ripley, you're referring to the question before we went into a sidebar about her leading up to believing that it was possibly Naziah Harris at the shop, correct?
Yes.
Does that help clarify
Okay,
the line of questioning?
yes.
Okay. So, those reasons, those things, are those things that you had known before? Are they based on your observations, or?
Well, these were things that I was told. And after asking the questions that I needed to ask, I came up with the conclusion that it was a possibility that Naziah was the little girl that I saw that day.
Thank you.
Now, Cynthia said, no, it's not a dumb question. I don't think you were here, but the only reason, Cynthia, I don't know if you knew this or not, but yeah, I did. I don't play it. I do have it recorded. If anybody want to test me, I do keep my receipts. But I actually had another mod while I was on the phone with her. And I spoke to her, and actually the conversation lasted about 6 hours. Yeah, 6 hours. And that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to, because she didn't do nothing but what everybody else did, drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? But at first, when I first heard her testimony, actually, I even continued the date that I spoke with her because it's on my phone. But we don't want to get this all messy, yeah, I'm glad that she came forward, but the reason why we're talking about this is not to throw her under the bus, because trust and believe, she didn't do anything to the child. That's why I say, you guys pick and choose who you want to like and who you want to hate. But King told her, you were there. Trust and believe, she had to come forward. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to come forward. They were going to come for her anyway. Because King told her, you were there. King had already been picked up, already went to the police department. It was just going to be a matter of time. It was just going to be a matter of time. She did not know what cameras were seeing. She did not know what he had said. So what happens when somebody knows something that you know? What do? You go make sure what they gonna say. And that's what she did. She went to King to see what was going on. King act like she didn't come, but she done already told him, yeah, I was there. Because King told her, you were there. Exactly. You can sometimes you can be proven to be accomplished if you don't say something. Exactly. Got her mixed up in this mess. King told her, you were there. She already knew before asking the question she was there, because she had already talked to King. Y'all, I don't know if y'all missing the point. You know what though? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that. I hope I don't offend anybody, and I'm just keeping it real. Like, we look over these cases and we be like, well, why she didn't do this, or why nobody didn't do that. But sometimes, even when we're just talking about these cases, you guys give people the benefit of the doubt. Especially, I don't understand why when it comes to our kids. Let me say this. When I look at these cases, I don't look at them as it's Naziah and that's somebody else's child. When I look at these cases, I look at Naziah like she's my child. And so I can't even though I like this woman. I'm just being honest with you guys. I think she's a beautiful woman. I'm happy that she did come out and she told everything. I'm even happy she even spoke to me. I'm just being honest with you guys. But it doesn't change the feeling. If this was my child, you know, why you didn't say nothing about the moving of the they pushing the truck over to the gas station? Or why you didn't come out earlier? Why did you have to wait a whole week after King told you you were there? Then you got to talk to the baby mama. And then you waited a whole week to call Shannon Jones. And I know you're scared. I know she have to be really scared because, you know, people will drag people. They will. And I'm not dragging her. You know? So you know, Cynthia, so you know that I spoke to her then. Cynthia said, I haven't missed any news from this. So you knew. Because this is not the first time. You guys knew. Yeah. But what we was talking about, like I said, this is not a drag party to drag the sister. I'm just stating, like, you know, putting the pieces together. Like, this is the woman that the baby's mama that she talked to that had to tell her, you brought my daughter over to him as soon as he got out, and he started doing things to her. So this woman is holding a lot of guilt. Whether she believed her brother or not, she's holding a lot of guilt that her own niece been messed around with her brother. And she was the one that took the niece to his house. Okay, let me just stop right there. How would you guys feel? How would you feel about it? So Eno says, see what I'm saying? Yes, this is conversation, you guys. This is not throwing anybody underneath the bus. But when we talk about these red flags, how many red flags you got to have? So y'all get mad at Shannon. Y'all highly heated because Shannon dated the man. Shannon got all these kids. But the sister took the child to him as soon as he got out of jail. She believed what he said, knowing that he is a sex offender. Same thing Shannon said. Basically the same thing. I'm just keeping it real. Same thing Shannon said. Well, society gave him a chance. I'm going to give him a chance too. You know, but here's the thing. If somebody was a petty thief and you know they went to jail, they just got out of jail for stealing, let's just say a piece of candy or whatever, you know, bubble gum or pack of cigarettes or something. Are you going to leave your purse around them? Well, why do we leave and hand over our prized possession, which is our children? Why? Even if you told me, oh man, you know, I didn't rob no bank. I just took a piece of candy. I'll be like, okay. I'll be like, okay, but I'm not going to leave my purse with you. So I'm just saying, in a nice way, you guys, had I not spoke to this young lady, I would be talking totally some trash on her. I would. I'm just keeping it real. You know? But whether I like her or not, and I really do like her, I know she has to be feeling a lot of guilt. Not only because she was there that day that Naziah came up missing, but also because she took her niece to her brother. You know? And she believed what he said of why he was in prison, you know? And she just thinking, oh, he's the daddy. That's his, he's the daddy. He can't see his kid, you know, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes there's reasons why people are not, the father's not there. You know, before you know it, you done got knocked up by this man that you thought you knew, you really don't know, and he's out there doing the most. But you can't tell me you didn't really know that he could do some stuff like that. You can't tell me that. Because I think every mother, a mother, will sit back before they hand a man, whether he's the father or not, a little girl. And there's little boys go through it too, but hand a little girl to a man, you want to make sure that your child is okay. Not because he's just a father and she wants to see the father. That is our sole responsibility. When you have these women around your children, you know. Now, I can tell you guys this, like sometimes, a kid may get mad down the road and be like, you kept me away from my daddy. I wanted you to come of age so that, if anything happened to you, you be able to tell me. I need to have that bond with you that let you know that if you told me something, I'm going to believe you. Not you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old and you keeping away from me because you're scared. You're keeping away from me because somebody done threaten you or whatever. You got to have those conversations with those little girls every day, all the time. Because this little girl said this. Did you ask her those questions? What questions is that, love? What question is that? Hmm? In 6 hours, I had asked her as everything that I possibly could. And, I believe some questions she just did not answer. She pretty much answered the questions that I asked her. She don't really know nothing other than, um, I didn't think she would even talk to me. And she did. And I was happy to even have that interview, but I know, I have to understand something. And I learned when we talked to Nay, putting her out there like that, I could have, and I still can if I wanted to, that I wasn't going to do her like that because she's very important on this case. You guys understand? Thank you, Ida. She said, I knocked and I rang that doorbell. You know what I'm saying? And not throwing her under the bus, but just tell tell me this or tell me why that, or ask the question. I can go back and replay every question and every answer. Because did you ask her if she knew he was a pedo before she took his child to him? No, because I didn't know that the part when she was talking about the child, that she was the one that took the child to him. I didn't know that she took the child to him. Now, did I ask her, did she know he was a pedo? Yes. I asked her that, and she said yes, but she didn't think of him as a pedo because when he got out of jail, the story that he told her is the same story he told Shannon, which back then they didn't have all the details of a person's case. Yes, she knew he went to jail for he was a sex offender. But I am going to say this, and I'm going to get off of here, you guys, because I don't want to go into pretty much of all the things, but think of it like this. Exactly. I'm going to say this. So, because I do have sympathy for the sister. I really do. But that doesn't mean anything to me as far as I'm going to see what I see, or I'm going to feel what I feel or think what I think. Like, I know she can't control what her brother did or done, or she don't even know he would have done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fault her. I just don't. I don't fault her. I'm just saying, but he was a sex offender. You know what I'm saying? So with him, even though that's your brother and he's a sex offender, and the story that he told her is the same story he told Shannon. You guys want to know what the story was? Why they gave him a second chance? Do you guys really want to know, or you just want to think about what you think? Because he didn't come out and say, hey, y'all, hey, Shannon, yep, I'm a sex offender. I messed around with a 4-year-old. Yep, they caught me. I pleaded guilty, took a plea deal, blah, 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 blah. That is not what he told them. So when you guys think about how someone continue to do things, like I said, it's still a red flag. And I would utilize it like it's a red flag. I would be like, oh, I'm not leaving this child here with you. We're staying together, until I felt comfortable with you. I don't care. That's my child. I don't care if it's your child. It's my child too. And she don't know you. That's a lot of drama and trauma. We got to stop sitting there. Oh, I want the baby daddy to be in the life. Yeah, I do too. But, we don't do it like that. Why don't you come around the house and let her get comfortable with you and let me see how you deal, how you touch her, how you talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Because trust and believe, there's supervised visits that you can request and ask for before you release your child to anybody. If you feeling some kind of way, you don't go. And then what I don't understand is, why is it that the sister went and picked the child up and then took the child to him, and then they went to Chuck E. Cheese? Because you got a car, evidently you got a car. Why you didn't go pick the child up yourself? They know he was no good. They know he's a no good man, running around, screwing everything that wasn't nailed down. They know this. That ain't what I said. They know this. This is what they say. Ain't what I said. But I know that if King would not have told the sister that she was there and that was Naziah, we will never know those things of how she would have responded had not King said that. We don't know that, we don't got no crystal ball. And I'm just telling you, her actions is realistic. I'm just being honest with you guys, like some people be like, oh, if it was my brother, I would have harried up and done this. No, you wouldn't have. I wouldn't have either. I'm just saying. So that's why I don't fault her. I'm just saying, like, I would have been like, hey, if they don't find out that I was there, I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna stay out of it. And that's just real talk, y'all. She said, I'm not understanding why nobody did a case record search on him and finding out information on their own knowledge he was incarcerated. No, they know he was incarcerated. Shannon know he was incarcerated. The sister know he was incarcerated. They also knew why he was incarcerated. He was a sex offender. But what kind of sex offender did he come out and tell them? You guys, I asked you guys, did you want to know? Nobody put a 1 in the chat. So evidently you don't want to know. Karen says, I'm glad that she chose to speak up. Well, I think she had no choice, really, to be honest with you. I don't think she had a choice. Because I was wondering for a while, when she was on the stand, she said, I love you. And I kind of was like, dang, that's strange because, whatever. Nevertheless, she came forward and spoke against her brother, no matter the circumstances. Exactly. But I'm just saying, it's just natural, you guys. I don't fault her for being natural. That's just human. I told you guys, I probably wouldn't have said nothing either. See, y'all, sometimes some of y'all in here understand what I'm saying. And I'm not saying I'm no better than her. I wouldn't have probably said, I'm just telling the truth. I can't throw her under the bus because, hey, if you didn't know I was there, I wouldn't say nothing either. Because I don't know, I don't know what you're going to say after that. I don't know. I would be scared. I would be mad, furious. But at the end of the day, I would have to come out and say something and get ahead of the story, because if I don't, you guys are going to control the narrative. You guys understand what I'm saying? And then you're thinking too at the same time, this child is gone. They're not going to believe me. It's going to look bad. I got a job. I got my own kids. Now here I am in the middle of some mess. That's what she's thinking. Now, I'm not giving her no easy way out. I'm just saying. Now, on Shannon's behalf, Shannon didn't have no kids when she got with this man. Y'all don't see that. Y'all just hate Shannon. Well, Shannon got a little bit more involvement to do with it too. Because like I said, it doesn't make sense for him to call her while he's at the Park Crest Inn and Shannon don't answer the phone on January the 9th. But y'all looking, y'all going, y'all done did everything. That's what Annette said. We done did a little bit of everything. You didn't even answer your phone when Jarvis was calling you that night. He could have been telling you to come and get Naziah. He could have been telling you she's sick. Or he could have been letting you know he had her and the job was done. He gave her this stuff to drink. Things went south. And he had to do what he had to do. Because, and I really don't believe that, you guys. And you know why I just don't believe that? Because Annette had a kid at a young age. Annette's daughter had a kid at a young age. That's what that family do. They get really sexual active at a young age because of all the grown-ups around them. So with Naziah being pregnant at a young age, okay. Next. It's crazy. I tell you guys what though, I was gonna tell you guys something. So that's what it is. Thank you, Lord. So what she had told me, and you guys, you could take this with you, that because I did ask her, if you knew that your brother went to jail for a sexual offense and he's on the registry for a sex offender, why did you not help this little girl? Or why did you not, when was the red flags coming up or whatever? She said to me, and I quote, she said, he told her, and the same thing he told Shannon was that he went to prison because he dated a girl that said she was 18, but she was actually like 15 or 16. Okay. They don't tell you the details of the sex offense. They didn't put on there, he's a sex offender to a 4-year-old or whatever. So only thing they know is that he's a sex offender. So if that was the case, and I believe so, I really do believe that part of what she said to me. That's why Shannon probably dated him, thinking, okay, little girls lie all the time and say that they older and they're not. And you can't tell the difference because they wearing the hair, the wigs, the nails, the makeup, and everything. Would have believed it? And if you did believe it, you would also believe, well, he's not really a real sex offender. You know what I'm saying? And he also said, so, because the sister said, if that's the case, why did you not fight it? He said he didn't fight it because it was less time for him to plead to it than to fight it, which we do know is true. Like, they give you 20 years if you fight it. They give you 3 to 5 years if you don't fight it. The girl is younger than her age. So, you know, yeah. That's why you can't take people's word for what they say. You have to go find out for yourself and think about it. If someone told you dating this man and then you go look and find that he's on the registry for a sex offender, and then you'd be like, oh my God, oh my goodness. And then he'd be like, let me explain to you. It ain't what you think. It's this. I was dating this girl. She was 16. She told me she was 18. And she got pregnant or whatever. But she told me she was 18. She told me she was 20. Whatever. I've had people tell me that before. That some girl told them that she was one age and she was another age. How do you really look at them after they tell you that? Answer that question. I've answered all you guys' question. Just you guys answered that question for me. If someone told you that they went to prison because someone lied about their age and told them that they were 18, 19, 20, when actually they were 16, 15, or 17, would you look at them like a pedo? And you can't find no information on what actually took place because there was no actual information about it was a 4-year-old or 10-year-old or 8-year-old. It was just sex offense. Miss Blue said, all you have to say to me is prison and I'm done. Girl, I had to learn that. But yeah, when they say prison, I'd be like, this is not gonna work. They say they went to jail on all kind of stuff, but exactly, we need to start making that mandatory. Yep. No, but I would probably constantly ask questions. Yeah. I'm just saying though, you guys, people don't, when they get out of jail, they don't come out. They don't tell the truth. And see, they don't tell the whole story. Like if you found out something, and I'm gonna tell you guys something. I'm gonna say this because there's 111 of you guys in here, but I'm gonna just keep it real with you guys. No, I know what you're saying in the chat, and I know for a fact what you do and what you say in the chat is two different things. I know how women work. You can tell your best friend something about her man and she'll shut you down. She will shut you. She will be like, you just want him, you just jealous, you just mad because I got a man, blah, blah, blah. You can't say nothing. You can't tell that woman nothing about no man. And that goes to, let's talk a little bit about this new woman. She's not new. She's one of Jarvis's girlfriends. I'm waiting to have a finished conversation with her. I'm not going to put her name out there because, we do got content creators that go run and then they start badgering the people. Now the people don't want to talk. So, yeah. Shavana says, no, I wouldn't in that case look at him like a pedo. But once allocations come out that he was touching them kids at that party, everything he once said would have been in question. And you got 4 or 5 kids by him. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All these red flags. You got all these kids, and something didn't happen. Y'all still fighting him to the birthday party. But if somebody had him before, shouldn't she be warning him or her? How many of you guys warn the next woman about what type of man you just left behind? You don't. You mind your business. You go on with your own problems, your own life. You don't want to be around him. You like, shoot, she thinks she got some. She'll figure it out. She'll find out. You gone. You're done. See what I'm saying? So just because we're virtual, let's be real. That's what we do. When I'm done, and I'm just being honest with you, when I'm done with a man, I'm done. I don't want to see him. I don't want to talk about him. I don't want him nowhere in my circle. I don't go where he go. I don't care who he with. I may even be wrong about him, but I don't want to have nothing to do with him, and I don't want my family to even have to deal with it. And how you gonna know if she ain't messy? All right, Eno. Yeah. A woman will tell you something quick. She'll tell you real quick, mind your business. You just mad. You just jealous. Or on that mad day, he done told her one of your secrets and she throwing that in your face. Oh, you got baby daddy issues. Or you got brother issues. Or your kid is a gangbanger killing this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. You be like, I'm done. And she just smiling and cheesing over there, hugging on him and smiling. And you be like, she gets what she get. No. You got to remember, she got kids or whatever. You let that go. I'm just saying, you guys. You know, and I know everybody want to look like they're good. But at the end of the day, especially, and I'm just saying this, especially black women, when we move on, we move on. We're done. We don't care what he do. We don't care who he's with. We don't care where he go. We don't care. He done got another woman, got a baby on the way. He done got a job. He wouldn't even work with you. Couldn't make this ninja work. He don't want to. And then she's like, I got him and now he got a job. He couldn't do that with you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm just saying. And then you wait for something to happen. I'm going to tell you guys something, you know, and it may be just a red flag to you. You're not going to go to that other woman and say, by the way, Jessica, let's just use that name. By the way, Jessica, I kind of think that he has some kind of problem, messing with kids or babies or something. You can go to jail for saying something like that with no evidence. Get a whole case. Somebody will sue you. Jessica would tell you to mind your business. And she ain't got to be messy. She just like, yeah, you just mad, Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just telling you guys. So anyway, hopefully Jarvis's girlfriend, because he got another one. And she love him. She wants to have his baby. Y'all, I can't even make this crap up. She ain't even in the same state he in. I don't know where this girl come from, but anyway, we'll see if she do call me back. We'll see. I waited over the weekend, and so, I think it was either Saturday or something, but she either had to go to work or do whatever. But I've been waiting. I done charged up my phone and waiting to see if she gonna call. Tina gonna say, Detroit women keep your legs closed. Girl, it ain't even a Detroit thing. It's not. Mm-mm. Y'all, you know what? I'm gonna say this. And it's just that, you can't really stop when these people that are these pedos or whatever. I don't know. I just want to call them something else because I don't want to get no strikes or anything against the channel. We'll call them baby fires. I'm going to call them baby fires. So when these people are baby fires, they're very sneaky. Worms. Let's call them worms. Okay. That's a good name. Worms. Let's call them worms. My girlfriend told me, she said, the law is for the criminal. It's not for the innocent, really. It's to protect the criminals. And one thing about the whole situation, Jarvis is he's not going to get out. He's never going to get out. He's done for. But if this man was just so relaxed in doing his own kids, he would have done anything. He would have done your dog. He would have done your best friend. He would have done the neighbor. And these women be like, for him to have so many women, you guys are not really paying attention to what this case is really about. It is about Naziah, but you see how easy it is to let your guard down for you as a woman and for your kids. See, like I said, there's 119 women or pretty much people in the building right now. And y'all say the right thing on the channel. But let it happen to you. Can't say nothing about your man. Don't say nothing about this ninja or this worm. You don't know. Blah, blah, blah. His social security check is coming. He picking the kids up. He talks about his kids all the time because he love them. He in love with who he's having sex with, who's letting him do what he do. And as long as you got somebody on your corner, like that's just some, when it comes to that, I can say this, and I'm just keeping it real, you guys. Like, I can tolerate a lot of crap. That's the number one thing I can't tolerate. I don't want it around me. I don't want anybody like that around me. I don't want it around my kids. I don't want it around my grandkids. I just don't. And when I see things like that, I divide. I don't care. I don't care how mean, mad my kids get or something. Put your kids in a safe place. That's all I got to say. And some of us have had to do that. And some of us probably won't never tell. They'll sit back and go, you know what? I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off of here. 9 times out of 10, I hear from you guys. Mm-hmm. So I know it's true. I know it's true. I hear from you guys. Y'all DM me and tell me. I needed to hear that. That, you know what? Life do go on. It does. And you can't forgive. But one thing about it is, you're either going to be a part of the problem or you're going to be a part of the solution. And red flags, do not give them the time of day. When you see the red flags, act on it. You ain't got to come out and they got to tell you this or tell you that. Just move your kids around. Ask them questions. Have a girls' night or a slumber party or something, or just a one-on-one or something, or whatever. But them red flags, they're red flags because you guys are in denial. And you can't tell me that everybody in here is sitting there going, "You're right, SP. Oh, well, I know I'm right." But there's some women in here that know that a child will tell them something, and you know what? They won't believe it. They'll keep going. They'll keep making dinner for that man and keeping him around them kids just to have that man because he done paid the bills. And I know it's hard. And women think like that too. If that man leave, you know what that one woman said? It ain't almost, it is. Like abusive, like one of those domestic abusive relationships. You know, the one woman, she was in here and she get hit and beat or whatever. And then you know what she say? Well, I got nowhere to go because if I leave, where am I going to go? Well, you know what? You can't tell me that you ain't been there before. You can't tell me whether it was sexual abuse or domestic abuse or whatever. You can't tell me you were scared to leave the situation because you didn't know where you was going to go, where you going to sleep, who going to get the car, all the fighting, if he going to find you or whatever. That's just like the kids think when something happened to them. They don't know what's going to happen. I don't never blame the kid. Never. You said what you said. Okay, let's handle it. But when a kid says something, believe it. Believe it and do something about it. I'm not saying you got to turn in your own child and your own husband and your brother and your cousin and your Uncle Raymond and all of that. I'm saying keep them away. That's it. That's all you got to do. Keep them away from those type of people that gives you anything of a pink flag, of a just a what they call it, a scat of a little red on something. Anyway, you guys, I gotta go. Some of you guys get it. Some of you guys won't get it. Some of you guys are going to fake it like you don't understand what I'm saying. But I know you understand what I'm saying because, you know, I know what mama taught you. Mama taught you what goes on in this house stays in this house. And you're going to keep that tradition. Whatever. Don't ask me about why is this continuing to happen. It happens because you guys allow it to happen. You let it happen. You know? Like Shannon. I gave him a second chance. The world gave him a second chance. I gave him a second chance. Girl, please. Like somebody said in the chat, when he said prison, I'm done. Yeah. We grow up, we learn to understand that bad boys mean bad boys. I know they good looking. I know they are. Guys can't tell me. I know. I know. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, like I said, there's nothing that's perfect. No relationship is perfect. But there's one thing I will not tolerate in my relationship. And you guys going to have to put standards down too. I will not tolerate that in my relationship. They can do anything. They can even go cheat if that's what they choose to do. If they cheat, they cheat. At least they cheating with a grown woman or a grown man. I don't know. I mean, I really can't even tolerate that. But I mean, that's easier to swallow. But touching kids, you know, any kind of sexual anything? No. No, you got to think about it. You know? And I'm going to tell you another thing too. Usually the people that advocates, that do come out and say, I was there, I didn't know, I had to investigate, it usually has happened to them. So you're going to either don't want it to happen to someone else, so you tell people to talk to their kids. You tell them to watch for those signs, because the signs, it just didn't happen overnight. It just didn't be like he just woke up one day and was like, oh, I'm going to go touch Naziah. No. It was a whole bunch of red flags. And all these women seen them. And I say all the women in Jarvis's life seen them. And you still got some of them that's still sitting there saying, let my baby go free. I love him. That's my husband. We gonna get married. Y'all just hating. We gonna have a baby together. I can't believe it. He just love his kids. Yeah, I can believe it. I can believe it. And then some people gotta live with, he used them in the wrong way. You know? Anyway, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna get off of here. I'll see you guys Wednesday. All right? Be good, be great, be nice to each other. Bye.